After 39 grueling days of relentless siege, the Ottoman army withdrew from Eger, marking a significant defeat for one of the largest military campaigns in the region. Tens of thousands of soldiers had been committed to capturing the fortress. Yet, despite superior numbers, artillery bombardments, and repeated assaults, the Ottoman forces failed. The fortress remained intact, though battered, its defenders having endured starvation, exhaustion, and continuous attacks to emerge victorious. The siege of Eger had begun with high expectations for the Ottoman Empire. Commanders believed that their overwhelming numbers and superior firepower would quickly crush the fortress, opening the path deeper into northern Hungary. Yet the reality of the campaign proved far more challenging. Istvan Dobo, the commander of Eger, had prepared his garrison to withstand protracted attacks, employing both traditional defensive strategies and innovative tactics to maximize the defenders' limited resources. From the onset, the siege was marked by extreme intensity. Cannons thundered from Ottoman positions, battering walls, gates, and bastions. Infantry units attempted to scale walls under fire, while engineers worked tirelessly to breach fortifications and undermine the structural integrity of the fortress. Each attack, however, was met with disciplined resistance from both soldiers and civilians, who defended the fortress with extraordinary courage. Within the walls of Eger, total war had become the norm. Men and women, young and old, worked together to repel attacks, repair walls, and maintain morale. Civilians carried supplies, reinforced barricades, and assisted the wounded. Women poured boiling liquids on attackers attempting to scale the walls, while soldiers engaged in brutal hand-to-hand combat at every breach. The unity of the defenders transformed the fortress into a nearly impenetrable stronghold, where every person contributed to the collective effort. Leadership played a crucial role in the defenders' success. Istvan Dobo coordinated defenses, orchestrated counterattacks, and maintained morale despite severe shortages of food, ammunition, and medical supplies. He used psychological tactics to exaggerate the strength of the garrison, creating illusions of reinforcements, constant activity on the walls, and unbroken spirit. These measures not only misled the Ottoman commanders, but also strengthened the resolve of the defenders. For the Ottomans, the siege became increasingly costly and unsustainable. Supply lines were stretched over long distances, while casualties mounted daily. Disease and exhaustion further depleted the army, and the onset of autumn weather added to the difficulty. Storms and cold nights slowed movement, while muddy terrain hindered artillery and troop deployment. The longer the siege continued, the more precarious the situation became for the attackers. Repeated assaults, including a massive final attack on October 17th, failed to breach the fortress decisively. Despite careful planning and coordination, Ottoman troops were unable to penetrate the walls or force surrender. Each attack resulted in heavy casualties, reducing the effective strength of the army and eroding morale. Commanders were confronted with the harsh reality that numerical superiority alone could not guarantee victory. By the 39th day, the combination of sustained resistance, logistical strain, rising casualties, and psychological pressure led Ottoman commanders to withdraw. Siege equipment, much of it damaged or destroyed, was abandoned or left behind, along with thousands of soldiers who had fallen in battle. The retreat marked a rare setback for the empire, emphasizing the limits of military power when confronted by determined and organized defense. The aftermath of the siege highlighted the resilience and strategic ingenuity of the defenders. Eger had withstood one of the largest Ottoman campaigns of the period, preserving its strategic importance in northern Hungary. The fortress's survival ensured that Ottoman expansion in the region would face further obstacles, while simultaneously boosting the morale of neighboring territories and forces resisting Ottoman conquest. For historians, the defeat at Eger illustrates the multifaceted nature of warfare in the early modern period. Success depended not only on numbers, firepower, and equipment, but also on leadership, morale, resource management, and psychological strategy. Dobo's ability to coordinate soldiers and civilians, maintain morale under extreme conditions, and exploit the strengths of the fortress itself proved decisive. The siege also underscored the human cost of war. Both sides suffered extensively. Ottoman soldiers endured exhaustion, disease, and combat casualties, while defenders faced starvation, injury, and relentless pressure. The engagement transformed the fortress into a battleground of endurance, courage, and collective determination, highlighting the extremes of early modern warfare. In the broader context, the retreat of Ottoman forces from Eger served as a cautionary example of overextension. Even an empire renowned for military prowess could falter when logistical challenges, environmental conditions, and fierce resistance converged. The failure at Eger temporarily halted Ottoman advances in northern Hungary, demonstrating that fortresses and determined defenders could shape the strategic landscape. The victory at Eger became a symbol of national pride and resilience. Soldiers and civilians alike, despite the hardships endured, had successfully defended their homeland. Stories of bravery, tactical ingenuity, and collective effort circulated widely, reinforcing the significance of unity and leadership in times of crisis. Eger's survival proved that coordinated, determined resistance could overcome overwhelming odds, even in the face of one of the most powerful military forces in Europe. Ultimately, the retreat after 39 days marked the end of a significant campaign, preserving both the fortress and the lives of its defenders. Eger's successful defense illustrated the strategic and symbolic importance of fortresses in early modern warfare. It highlighted the limitations of even the most formidable armies and reinforced the enduring impact of leadership, morale, and ingenuity on military outcomes. The Siege of Eger remains a defining episode in Hungarian and Ottoman military history. Its lessons extend beyond the battlefield, demonstrating the power of human resilience, the importance of strategic planning, and the value of collective action in the defense of a community. The fortress, though battered and tested, stood as a monument to endurance, courage, and the enduring ability of determined defenders to withstand even the mightiest armies.